A card-driven rogue-like GM-less role-playing game where you take on the role of a doomed adventurer on their last fight. That's right, everybody. Let's break it down. Well, hi, hello, everybody. My name is Turk. Welcome back to the Grouch Couch. Around here, we all different kinds of weird TTRPG things, but that's right. Today, we're checking out One Last Fight by Hit Point Press. This bad boy, I actually kickstarted it, I think about a year ago or something like that, and it finally arrived here in the mail, so we actually have a cool little Kickstarter bonus that I'm going to open up whenever we open up this box as well. Now, if you do want to get this bad boy, there's no affiliate link, but there will be a link for your convenience down in the description, so you can get it for yourself. But I do want to say, if you want to support the show, of course, YouTube jibber jabber, you can clickety-clack on them buttons, which does help me a lot. And you could use the links in our description to also help support the dang old show. So, thank you so much for doing that. Now let's move on to what we're going to be doing today. Of course, we're going to break open this box. All right, so we can do a little bit of an unboxing to see what the heck's on the inside. Some fun stuff, some fun dice I seen in there. And we're actually going to play it a little bit today, which I'm really excited about. Now, I don't do a lot of board games here on the channel, but when one does come across my table, I get pretty excited about it, especially whenever it can be played solo, because you know this here Grouch Couch channel is primarily solo TTRPG based. And this one just has the theme and the amazingness that looks right the heck up my alley. I mean, look at this box before I even open it. This is fantastic. And this just has Turk written all over it. So I say let's hop over to the dang old top-down camera. Let's whip this box open to see what it has on the inside. Now, we're zoomed in, but here is the box right here. And it's fantastic looking. Yes, Hit Point Press. It's nice and saturated with ink. It looks fantastic. It is for 1 to 4 players. It's going to take about an hour or two of play time, which is perfect video length, if I do say so myself. That's right. And it's probably about an hour or two once you already know how to play, right? So keep that in mind. I always say that whenever we open these things. Now, this here, actually, we're going to open this first. This is our Kickstarter bonus that we got for backing it on Kickstarter. I think that you guys know my rules about Kickstarters, right? It's always a risk that you take, right? So whenever you do back something, make sure it's a good company like Hit Point Press or something like that, or just remember that you're taking a risk. But usually those risks do pay off. It may take a little bit of time, but even looking at these awesome holographic extra cards that they sent me for being a Kickstarter backer is just so dang very. I think there was also a note in here. Nope, this is just warnings. Don't eat the cards. Copy that. But I do also love this little envelope. As you can see, they got the little stamp on there. And I did have to rip it when I opened it. It's fantastic. Kickstarter stretch goals. There it is. So these holographic cards that came with the box. We're going to open these up after we figure out how to play this thing. Right, so we have some character sheets. And it's a full little dang booklet of them. We love that. Once again, we have our warnings. Do not eat this game. Copy that. Now we have our booklet. Awesome. We're going to go through that. We have our big play cards. These are fantastic. Now we have also enemy cards, possibly. Dude, the art on these are just fantastic. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with it. Now we have the basic cards that come with, they're not basic. These are fantastic. The cards that come with the box set, of course. So we'll set those there. Now we have a baggie of there's a little, I wonder what this is for. I guess we'll figure it out once we start playing. But these are just super cool. I love these dice a lot. I am a dice goblin, and people who've been watching the channel for a while know that I will literally buy things just for dice, because I am a dice goblin. As you can see by all my dice on my shelf here, it needs organizing. I know, don't look at it too hard. These are just friggin' cool. I'm going to zoom out real quick just so you can see me toss them into the dice box. Ooh-wee! We love that. That was fun. Okay. Now, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of this baggie because we probably ain't never going to use it again. Those dice are staying out. Cool. Now we have some pog-looking things. Oh, so that's what that's for. Whatever the heck these are. You're learning this game the same time as me, all right? We're learning together. It's like a compass rose. This is cool. And a character pog. We love that. It's a turn dial that you put the thing through. Okay, that's very, very neat. All right, now just a piece of foam, all right? Empty box. Cool design on the inside of the box, though. We love that. Piece of foam. We'll leave the foam in there. All right. Let's learn how to play this dang thing, shall we? It looks cool. Hopefully it plays cool. Ooh, Hit Point Press. We love the art direction. Very good. The red and black. I'm a big fan. Y'all know that. Ethan Hudgens. Thank you, Ethan Hudgens. Appreciate ya. Very well done. Art director, Brian Walters. Thanks, Brian Walters. All right. Component list. We have our character cards. We have 8 starting cards, 12 loot cards, 4 turn reference cards, Nemesis cards, Nemesis challenge cards, 12 moment cards, 16 approach, 15 lair, 10 end, and 1 slay them card, along with 1 active player token, a metal insight tracker, where I don't have a metal insight tracker. Oh, I think I might have actually gotten an email about that. They sent these out and then so they sent me actually like, I don't know, $5 store credit for Hit Point Press or something like that. I'll have to recheck the email, but they made good on it. Even though it was supposed to come with a cool coin, we didn't get it. Sad day. The Insight Tracker, standard edition. So we didn't get the heavy metal one. Then we have Heart Dice, Power Dice, Soul Dice, and Special Dice. Cool. I love a good colored dice. All right. "This is it," murmured Bellows, "our last supper." The party sits in silence at these words as the campfire flames hiss and crackle before them. They had all come so far, bound only by their hatred of the dark forces that were consuming their lands. Now they sit outside the corrupted territory of the enemy, preparing to defeat their nemesis once and for all. "Truly inspiring words, Bellows," scoffs Malva, her broadsword across her lap, a whetstone sliding amongst the blade. "It's a wonder we made it this far with an attitude like that." The party looks to Malva, who stands and stabs her sword deep into the dark earth. "We have a long road ahead of us. We have taken it upon ourselves to rid these lands of darkness. Some call it a fool's errand, a hopeless task. I call it one more job, one final duty." Malva extends her arm, holding her hand out just above the reach of the campfire's flames. "One last fight. Who's with me?" Sick, dude. Sick sauce, bro. I like that a lot. Game overview. One Last Fight is a card-driven, GM-less role-playing game where 1 to 4 players take on their roles of doomed adventurers on their final quest to defeat their ultimate nemesis or die trying. Players create their adventurers' backstories together, establish the story of their nemesis, and work together to overcome a gauntlet of challenges, both physical and personal, until they find themselves in their nemesis's lair. There, the adventurers meet their fate and battle the nemesis head-to-head. Will they survive one last fight? Very cool. And just enough, because then we're just getting right into how to play the game. I've said it before in a few different videos, I like whenever a game, usually games like this, they'll just like overbloat with entry-level lore, right? Like 5-10 pages, and I'm like, look, I'm not, how do you play your game? So 2 little paragraphs like that is like, chef's kiss, man. That's good stuff. All right, the characters. The characters of One Last Fight are hardened warriors who have shouldered their burden of dealing an evil nemesis that is threatening to destroy the world. Choose your characters. Every character has unique abilities and attributes that they bring to the fight. Against the nemesis, players choose their characters using one of the following methods. All players are dealt a character card, or all players can decide which characters they want to play from the available card options. A single-player game. A player can either draw and play multiple character cards, or just a single character. That's cool to know. I like that. Then we have the card anatomy. So I guess before we get into anything else, let's pull out our character cards. Which I think is this, right? This is the witch. Oh, dude, this looks so cool. Here we go. Turk's excited about another piece of cardboard again. Welcome to the Grouch Couch, everybody, where Turkey gets really excited over cardboard. Oh my, these are so cool. They got, so these, it's hard to tell on screen, but you can see they're indented for where you set your dice. And that is just so cool. I love that. So we have the illusionist. We have the witch, the heavy, the astrologer. Sick, dude. The knight. And of course, the scoundrel. So usually when I start playing games, I do an example of them. I like to KISS, which is keep it simple, stupid. I say that around here a lot. So I think for our first little example here today of this game, just to see what it has to offer, we're going to play the knight, because knight is always simple. There's no extra magic. There's nothing like that, at least usually. We'll see. So we're going to play the knight today, but these are just sick, dude. Okay, and I'm going to put these other ones back in the box. Okay, now, as we can see here, we have our character name, attribute symbols, heart resources, power resources. So this explains the character sheet. Like that a lot. It's real good for beginners. Very well done. Hit point. Starting resources and equipment. Number of characters, 1, which is where we're at. We have 5 heart, 3 power. Okay, so let's set that up. We have 5 heart. So cool. And the dice fit in the little, and it stays there. It's pretty good. Look at that. I'm moving it around like that, and it's not going anywhere. Big slide. Oh, I slid it, and it flipped the dice. So you had to, pretty hard, you got to move it to get it out of there. That's good. I mean, you could, by accident, is what it. All right. Power, 3. Our soul is 0. Goodness, I'm a dice golf. These D6s are handy dandy. I'm going to tell you, they're going to come in handy. Oh, there is no 0 on this, so I guess we just leave her blank. Starting equipment is 2. Okay. Players should name their characters. Oh, we shall be, first name to come to mind, Alfonso. the knight. And then take turns answering the bond questions on their character card. Ooh, there's bond questions? Oh, I see. What is the main tenet of your faith? Who tests that faith regularly? So, I test my own faith regularly, as I am a singular character. The tenet of my faith is to destroy all evil. I am Alfonso. We're keeping it simple today, but you can get fancy-dancy if you want to. It's looking like they're really trying to bring in some role-playing to this rogue board game. These questions help tie the characters into the narrative of the fight, and create connections between characters. Each player takes a heart die, a power die, and a soul die to track resources on their character card. Reference the starting resources and equipment table, which we did, for each resource's starting value. Players can set aside their soul die until they've earned some. Very good, we did that. If a chosen character has any special abilities with a limited number of uses represented on a character card, use X. Set a special ability die to the number of uses the ability has, represented on a character sheet as use X. This says use 3 down here. It's so tiny, but it says use 3. Grace, use 3. Take 1 heart, or another player of your choice takes 1 heart. Sacrifice, when you face death, another player of your choice takes 3 power. Well, we're playing by our lonesome today, so our special abilities may not do very much. Maybe this wasn't the right character to start with. But we have Alfonso. I'm already attached to him. Set a special ability die to the number of uses the ability has. Okay, so we're setting it to 3. That's so cool. Then players should take turns drawing cards from the starting equipment deck, answering any questions in their equipment card. See the starting resources and equipment table for how many to draw. So that's where we are. We're drawing 2 starting equipment cards. All right. Are these the equipment cards? I think so. I'm assuming we're just going to shuffle in our other ones. These cards from the Kickstarter, which is cool. I like a game that has room for expansion. I really do. You can already see, I mean, this game could get more characters, get more cards, you know, stuff like that. It's very fun. Are they on the back what they are? It looks like they are. Very good. So these are our how to resolve a challenge card, moments, end, lair, approach, loot. There's a lot of cards. Starting equipment. Oh, there's some more. Slay them? What the hell does that mean? We have more end cards. I'm going to put them with the other ends. Okay, these are marked that way. So we have approach, lair, and end. 1, 2, and 3 like that. We have our starting equipment. We have our loot. I'm gonna set these over here by moments. I'll zoom out in a sec so you can see everything. I don't know what slay them means, so we're just gonna keep that to the side. Starting equipment. Now let's open up our Kickstarter cards. I don't know if my autism likes the texture of these cards. I'm just saying. Whoa. I mean, yeah, the camera does kind of do them justice here. Look at, really kind of cool. There's like deep red. There's also golden or holographic. Very cool. Yeah. That paid off. Fantastic. Okay, we have 2 more end cards, 2 more layer cards, 2 more approach cards, 3 more moment cards. Why was it 2, 2, and then all of a sudden 3? That's very... Then we have 3 loot cards. Okay, and I don't know what that is. So, draw cards from the starting equipment deck, answering any questions in the equipment card. Okay, so it's not the loot cards, it's the starting equipment. So we don't get any fun expansion things for these ones. That's okay. Let's give them a good old shuffle. They feel pretty good. They're like oversized. I guess they could be tarot cards. They feel like thinner almost tarot cards. But here are my tarot cards. Here is One Last Fight. Exactly the same. So they are, what? Yeah, exactly the same. So they're standard tarot card size. Cool. I don't know why I thought they were smaller. I think maybe because they're just thinner. All right, starting equipment. We're going to draw 2 cards here. We have the Vigor Brew and the Star Token, okay? And we answer any questions they might have. Let's move this up. Discard this card to let any player take 1 heart or 2 power. So it's like a powerful potion. A container of reddish liquid. What does it taste like? Chicken. A token made from a star. What caused the star to fall? I like the questions. While you have this card, you have +1 crown. Okay. I don't even know what that means. What are these character sheets for? If we're using these cards, maybe like when it was like, what is our character name? We put down Alfonso. We put character knight, and then we could put his details on there. So whatever our bonds are, we write those down in details. We could put out our own little character portrait. They're really trying to get you to role play with this game, and I think that that's fun. Your doomed table. Yeah, totally forgot about it. Okay. Now let's talk about what the attributes are. Attributes represent the various strengths the adventurers have honed during their journey. Attributes are used during challenges to determine whether adventurers succeed or fail. Attribute symbols: crown, wealth and treasures, found or stolen. You can't take them with you, so use what you can. So we have a star token that gives us 1 treasure, crown. Key, stealth and nimbleness, magic is spells, shield is defenses, and sword is strength. So we're a knight with only treasure. All right. Resources. Every character has a certain amount of heart to represent their stamina and resilience. Challenges and other effects from the challenge deck cause us to lose and gain heart throughout the journey. We can never have more heart than our starting amount. Okay, so we have 5 to start. That's our max. When we lose our last heart, we must face death. Face death comes for everyone. We'll come back to this whenever that happens, I think. So we'll read that later. Power represents additional advantages and knacks the character can use to give them a better chance of succeeding on their final quest. A player can spend any amount of power before undertaking a challenge. If they do, they may roll additional die per power spent. You may never have more than 5 power. Okay, so like, we could spend a power to give extra die. Makes sense. Soul. When characters slay creatures and defeat enemies, they sometimes are rewarded with a piece of that enemy's essence, represented by a soul. A player can spend 3 soul to gain 1 power before undertaking a challenge. Oh, so then we could spend our soul to get more power. And then it actually explains that the character cards have spaces for tracking them. That's cool. Each character has special abilities they can use. These abilities can be used at any time. Very good. Here's our characters. Very cool art of all the characters. We love it. We love it. Very cool. The Nemesis. At the center of every game of One Last Fight is the Nemesis the characters are facing. They are represented at the table by a Nemesis card. One side of the card has roleplay questions to help establish details about the Nemesis, and the other side shows the Nemesis effect in the game. Choose a Nemesis. Once the characters have been selected, players choose a Nemesis, an evil that their characters have sworn to defeat. Players choose their Nemesis using one of the following methods. Choose a random, draw 3 and choose one, or choose a Nemesis that interests all players. Each Nemesis card includes general information about the Nemesis's motives as well as difficulty represented by the number of skulls on the card. If playing One Last Fight for the first time, we recommend choosing one with an easy difficulty, which is 1 skull. Okay, let's do that. Nemesis cards, baby. Let's open them up. Doesn't look like we have a lot in here. How many have they given us? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 options. It's not a lot, but it's better than 5, I guess. We have the Cult, the Demon Lord, the Dragon, the Sorcerer, the Necromancer, and the World Eater. It's pretty good in range, I think. From the Cult to the World Eater. I think Alfonso would take down the Demon Lord. Let's do that. He's got an ability. During end, any challenge that includes a key attribute requires an additional success of 4 or higher. Approach 1 solo. The army of the damned marches to seize a holy site. How do you defend the clergy and the sacred relic that they guard? Then we have a 5 there. I don't even know how to play yet. Let's go to the question. A violent demonic being hell-bent on dominating the world. How are they entering your world? From hell. What evil do they represent? They represent gluttony. They are one of the 7 deadly sins. What does their army look like? A bunch of little fat demon guys, because it's gluttony. Where sits their throne, and what is it made of? It's a throne of lies. You sit there on your throne of lies? No, it's a throne. It's gluttony, so I don't know. Food, lots of food bones, garbage, nasty garbage. It's a demon lord. Okay. And we have explanation of the card. Now, know your Nemesis. We should answer the questions as a group. The Nemesis has abilities that affects the rules of the game. So this one is, during the end phase, any challenge that includes a key requires an additional success of 4 or higher. So 2 successes to be able to do that. To remind the Nemesis challenges. To remind the heroes of the ever-present danger, each Nemesis card has 3 Nemesis challenges, 1 for each of the 3 phases of the adventure. These challenges are flavored around the Nemesis' sinister plots and are slightly more difficult than the standard challenges of their respective phases. Nemesis challenges are explained fully in the playing game section of the booklet. Insight. The final conflict with their Nemesis will push the adventurers to their limit, and they will need every advantage they can get. As they learn about their Nemesis, these advantages come in the form of Insight, a resource lost and gained from resolving certain challenge cards. Insight is tracked with the Insight tracker placed beside the Nemesis card. When a character is attempting the challenge on the Slay Them card, they roll an additional number of dice equal to the amount of Insight. Oh. So we could put our Nemesis tracker together now. What, such a cool tool, by the way, especially because it goes from 1 to 20. Y'all know what that means for me? I'm gonna be using this in more than just this game. That's all I'm saying. All right, so we took the holes out, and we're gonna put this little black piece through here, maybe through here. Yes, very good. And then we put this in here, and it makes us a little spinner. Look at how cool. Yeah, dude. Target number ICRPG. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, dude. If you spin it well enough, it's just a D20 roller. Sick, dude. Roll to hit. Oh, 13. Yeah, dude. All right, sorry, I get excited about cardboard. Moving on. Setup. Arrange the play area. Separate moment, loot, approach, lair, and end challenge cards into individual decks and shuffle each one of them, making sure to keep the Nemesis challenge cards and Slay Them card separate. Did that. It's almost like, guys, we're an experienced board game player or something. We did that. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more, though. Now that I put the really cool holographic cards in there, I'm going to shuffle them more. Shuffling through all these cards, I thought I didn't like the texture of these cards, but I think now actually shuffling them for a little while, because I'm shuffling all the decks just good and well, I think I actually instead like the texture of the card. Very odd. Either way, we're shuffled up. Let's zoom out. Okay, and let's continue on. Just like, what light is it? That one? All right, place the 8 challenge dice within reach of all players. 8 challenge dice? I think I got a lot more than 8 here, coach. But maybe the black ones are the challenge dice. That makes sense. Ah, the black and red, yes. Okay. Build your challenge deck. Over the course of the game, players draw from a challenge deck, which is composed of cards from Moment, Approach, Lair, End decks. In addition to the Slay Them card, begin constructing a new deck by placing down the Slay Them card. Okay, Slay Them card. 2. Take 5 cards from the End challenge deck and the End Nemesis. There's 2 different ones? Ah, so the one with the logo around it is the End Nemesis card. Fair enough. So we take 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we shuffle them together and we place them on top of the Slay Them card. Done. Then take 10 challenge cards, the Layer 2 Nemesis challenge card, and 1 Moment card. Shuffle them together. 10. Okay, and so that logo one that was towards the back that I shuffled in, I didn't know the difference. It's because that one represents this on the card. So we're doing 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sheesh. And a 1 Moment card? 1 Moment card. Shuffle them together. And I'm sure you could do less cards for shorter games. I don't see that it says anything about that in here, because I'm a good fan of a short game, you know? Okay, and then we do the same thing, but we do 8 approach cards and 1 moment card. So we need to do the same thing and find that guy. There we go. In my videos, I always really like to cut up the shuffling, make it all choppy, like... I don't know if I did it this time. Editing in future Turkey will decide that, but I always like to do that. It's fun to me. I don't know. Okay, the deck contains 29 cards in total. And then we have a play area example. Kind of fun for 3 players. Very cool. Ours is different, of course. Determine the first player. Me! Choose a player to take their turn and give them the active player token. So that's what this is. Cool. And the 8 challenge dice. You're now ready to begin your adventure. Start with the player who has the active player token. Players take turns revealing the top card from the challenge deck and then resolving it. Challenges. Every challenge has a name, flavor text, and a question to fold the challenge into the story. Challenges of 2 varieties, solo and party. A solo challenge only requires 1 player to attempt it. The player who drew the solo challenge can decide to take on the challenge or pass it on to the next player in clockwise order. That player then gets to choose to take on the challenge or pass it along, and so on. This continues until a player decides to attempt the challenge or all players have passed on the challenge, at which point it returns to the player who drew the challenge who must attempt it. Party challenges. A party challenge is a large-scale encounter that requires all players to attempt them, starting with the player who drew the party challenge and going around in clockwise order. Each player attempts the challenge on the card, resolving it in the same way as a solo challenge. Each player succeeds or fails their attempt individually, receiving rewards or suffering penalties based on their results. Once all players have attempted the challenge, the card is discarded. A note on party challenges. Unless otherwise specified, whether or not an individual player succeeds or fails a party challenge has no effect on the next player's attempt at the same party challenge. All players might succeed, or they might all fail, or there may be a mix of both. Oh, cool. So like in this, you can see here there are rewards and failures. So if it's a party challenge, everyone does it, and then everyone could get the rewards or not. That's kind of fun. The player taking on the challenge begins by reading the flavor text, then they answer the question. In the case of party challenges, all player answers the question. Each challenge shows a number of attribute symbols and a series of target numbers. When a player undertakes a challenge, they assemble a number of challenge dice equal to 1 plus the number of matching attribute symbols they have, starting equipment, loot, and any other cards they've collected. The player then rolls the dice to succeed at the challenge. The die roll must result in a unique die that matches or beats each of the target numbers presented on the challenge card. If the player succeeds at the challenge, they must follow the success result on the card. If they fail, they follow the defeat result. Depending on the outcome of the challenge, players may be rewarded with loot cards or resources like power and soul, or may have to suffer losses of heart or other items. Some challenges don't have specific attribute symbols. Instead, ask for all you've got. In that case, the player resolving the challenge counts all their attribute symbols to determine how many dice to roll. That's fun. Some challenge cards will tell you to keep it as part of success or defeat. In that case, the player who resolved the challenge keeps it. Nice. Okay. Party challenge example. This is very cool. We're not doing that today. We're doing our own example, you nerds. Solo challenge example. Then we have the Nemesis challenges, which explains those a little bit. The moment cards, which we haven't touched on. Drawing a moment card from the challenge deck signals a break from the action and gives the players an opportunity to roleplay as their characters. When drawn, the players should read the flavor text and answer the first question as a group. Each moment card has 3 role-playing prompts, which give a jumping off point for a scene. Players should work as a group to choose one of the prompts and roleplay the scene together. Not all players need to participate in the scene, though all players can share in the rewards of the moment card, unless otherwise specified on the card. Scenes can last as long as the players want. If the players would prefer not to act out the characters, they instead just describe the scene as a group. Once the scene is resolved, a player who drew the moment card resolves the outcome part of the text. Most moment cards have positive outcomes, but occasionally they can be detrimental. Moment card anatomy. Moment card name, flavor text, roleplay questions, prompt. Exactly. Very good. Ending a turn. A player ends a turn once it's resolved. I figured that much. The active player token is passed. Got it. The end. There are 2 ways for One Last Fight to end. Either the Nemesis is defeated, or we have faced death. Cool, then it has some explanations on that as well. And I really like the art on this other page, but that's the whole booklet. We've done did it. Got some notes in there. Seems simple enough. And these are our reference cards. Oh, there's 4 of them, so 1 for each player. That's cool. We only need 1 of them. Example challenge. Attributes required for the challenge. Dice rolls to match or beat. It's kind of tiny text. Determine the number of dice to roll. And remember, we can use our power to give ourselves extra dice. It's a lot of fun if we need to. All right, seems pretty straightforward. Even the explanation card is like, yeah, pretty straightforward. We begin our adventure. Alfonso. Where is he at? He's a knight. He must defeat all evil. Yes. And before we start, I really want to say that I can already tell this is a game I'm going to want to play with my partner. Very cool. You're going to want to play this with friends. It sounds sick in a group play. But we're going to be doing it solo today. So just know that it can be soloed. I think it might be a little harder solo, but who cares, right? We're to check out a fun game because losers like us don't need friends. We can play games if we want to. That's right. All right, we're gonna flip our first card, the approach. Alfonso approaches. We got cart, solo. Someone's livelihood is now abandoned. What scavengers pick through its remains? We have a strength of 4, which we have to at least get a 4. We could spend a power on our first turn, just as an example. We have 3, so we could do that if we want to, but I don't should. 4, if we got a pretty high chance of just beating that there. So let's go ahead and roll one of our challenge dice into the box. Can we beat this thing? Alfonso sees the cart. He runs over to try and scavenge what's left because the demons have been through here. What does he find? That's a 1. We fail. Okay, all right. Defeat. The scavengers are victorious. There was scavengers there. Okay. And you barely escape with your lives. Lose 1 heart. Dang. We would have gotten a shield out of that. That sucks. I wish I would have drawn something other than a friggin' treasure card. Where am I use treasure? Give me a sword. All right, discard pile. We approach again. The key. Cowards make excellent protectors as long as the walls hold. How do you open the doors? We go to the entrance of this place. We need to try to, we can't really necessarily lockpick. Maybe we just try to slam the door open as best that we can. Once again, we got to get a 4. We only have 1 dice. And you know what? We could get 1 magic if we win. If not, we lose a heart. I don't want to spend the power yet. We're going to save it. Let's just roll. Give me a 4. That's a 5! Exciting! So we succeed. None are wiser to the secrets you steal. Keep this card. While you have this card, you get +1 magic. Exciting. I'm gonna put it right under there like, very good. The approach. Oh, this is the Demon Lord approach. Resolve approach 1 on the Nemesis encounter card, which is there. Approach 1. I'm nearsighted. I need to hold it up. The Demon Lord's army of the damned marches to seize a holy site. How do you defend the clergy and the sacred relic that they guard? We really need to do this. This we need to, because with this we can get loot and soul, and we could spend 3 soul to get back power. So we're actually going to spend 1 power on this to give us an extra dice. We have to beat a sword. A sword hit, we have to at least get a 5 on one of these. Exciting. I really want to draw a loot card. We haven't gotten to do that yet, and I really want to. That's right there. Come on now, give me a 5. Daddy wants a new 5. That's a 6 and a 4. We succeed. You obtain the holy relic. So the damned marches on the holy site. So we slammed open the door of whatever this was. It was locked, right? And we got some magic out of it. Or maybe we're inside of like this church, and we slam open the door, and on the inside there's all these like monster, like fleshy beasts of the demon of gluttony, and we just start slaying them down and taking them, right? And we see one of them has this holy symbol. We obtain it. What is the holy symbol? We're gonna we also get 1 soul, so we go up to 4, and we get 1 loot. And I shuffled the loot deck as well, so I'm just going to draw from the top. Vim, loot, a container of thick red liquid. What about you changes when you drink its contents? Discard this card at any time to let any player take 2 heart or 4 soul. This cannot be used to stop from facing death. Very good. And we also have the Vigor Brew as well that we could use, so might as well not forget about it. Exciting. Alfonso marches on. We've beaten the approach, but we're still in phase 1. So. Approach. Oh, goodness. We have magic and key, which we do have an extra magic die, so that helps. It feeds upon the unwise. How do its walls change? Oh, it's a maze. Maze. It feeds. Okay, we need 2 4s. We have 3 dice. Can we get 2 4s with 3 dice? Oh, on defeat, we lose all power? What? So we might as well spend 1. We also lose all of our soul on defeat. Can you see that? So we need to spend at least 1. Give us 4 dice. That's a good chance, right? Oop, almost dropped it. Okay, here we go. Give me 2 4s. That's a 5. What is it? What is that? And a 4! Goodness, thank goodness. Okay, we get to draw a loot card though. That's exciting. Loot card. Shattered crown. A silver crown cracked and leaking starlight. Who once wore it? I don't know. So some kind of prince of the stars, I guess. While you have this card, you get +1 magic and +1 crown. While holding this card, whenever you lose heart, lose an additional heart. Sheesh. Okay. So now we have 2 magic and 2 crown. That's not what the knight should have, I don't think. That's kind of wild, but okay. Moving on. Do we want to drink any potions? We can get some more soul if we want to. I don't think we can also choose after we draw. Crypt, solo, cold stones and older bones. Whose voice seeks an audience? Shield and key, which we do not have. If we fail, we lose 1 heart. We only have 2 to spend, but we could get 4 soul. We could get 2 extra power. We need to spend our power here, so we're out of power. That's going to give us 3 because we do not have any shield or any key. We only have magic and crowns. So we're going to take 3 dice because you always have 1, right? We're going to go ahead and roll that. We need to be 2 4s. That's 2 5s right there. I can already see that. And a 6. Wow, we killed it. Very good. So we don't lose any heart, but we get to draw a loot card. Here we are. The boots. Shimmer boots. They sparkle when you run. What feelings do they give you when you wear them? While you have this card, you get +1 key and +1 shield. Finally! If you roll 2 1s in any challenge that includes a key or shield attribute, lose a heart and give this card to your player to your right. Here, nobody, you can have. No, we'll just be losing a heart. That's wild. Okay, so if we ever roll 2 1s, that's a fun mechanic. I like that they put that in there. That's very cool. I'm just adding them in as we go. Just adding them in. All right. Moment! Our first moment! Exciting. You speak privately with a trusted ally. What have you been hiding from them? Choose 1 prompt. You each swear an oath that becomes your bond. You confide in each other and share your burdens, or you feel a connection that can't be put into words. Your fates are intertwined. Outcome. You and the player you spoke with each take 2 soul. So it's just us. So maybe we speak to our God, right? Because we have a test of faith, right? Maybe we are around a fire and we're like, oh, maybe it's the Lord of the Stars, right? Because we have the crown. We found the crown, so maybe the crown was important to us. So we're like, oh, cool, so it's like actually a really good thing. So maybe we're like, oh, Lord of the Stars, it is I, Knight Alfonso, sitting around the fire. I've come to you today to tell you that I've been hiding something from you. I secretly have doubted you, my Lord of Stars, but I'm here to let you know that by you bestowing your crown gift upon me, I believe in you once again. And our connection that can't be put into words, our fates are intertwined. I could feel it. Yes, we're gonna get 2 more soul. Very good. Which we didn't even have before. So now we have 2 soul. I don't even remember what soul does. Oh, we could spend soul to get more power. Yeah, very good. We just spend 3 soul for 1 power. Oh, moving on. Next step here. Crossing party. Poorly maintained and incredibly dangerous. Why does no one travel here anymore? 1 key, 1 crown. We have to at least beat 4. We can make it across with no reward, or we'll lose 2 heart because of the crown. At any point we lose 1 heart, we're gonna lose 2 heart, right? But we have 2 crown, so that's 3 dice we get to roll, and all we gotta do is get a 4. Hopefully we don't get 2 1s. You know what I mean? That's a 4, I can see it. And a 6. Sick. So we succeed, everything is fine. Next quad, we see our gameplay loop. Very cool. Bloody. Solo. Stained in hatred, a corrupt warrior torments the locals. How did the nemesis drive them to slaughter? Gluttony. The demon of gluttony is they have all started killing each other because I could see, like, if you were to embrace the roleplay bit of this, especially with your friends, probably could tell a really fun story because all these cards can align back to that nemesis, and I think it could be a lot of fun. So that's very neat. Anyway, so they're all probably in a village, making them all want more and more and more. The gluttony, they're trying to eat all the food, and so they started fighting and killing each each other. But we need a sword and a shield. We have 1 shield, so this means we have 3 dice. Oh, we also have key. We have +1 key, which I forgot about last round, but it's fine. We succeeded anyway. So if we are defeated, we lose all power and all soul, but if we succeed, we get a loot card and we take 1 soul, which could then be turned into power. But honestly, we're out of power already. That's why I haven't drinking our vigor potion yet, because I'm like, once we drink it, then it's like at a risk. So I only want to drink it once we need it, right? Because now we could risk it for the biscuit and it doesn't even matter. Although I really do want more loot. I really want a sword. I want to just pull all the loot out of that deck, you know? It's good that I'm wanting more loot, right? Makes me want to play. We like that. We like that a lot. Anyways, so we're just going to be rolling 3 dice because we do have a shield from our boots. So we got 3 dice to roll and we need to get 2 4s. Here we go. That's not it. That's a 2, a 3, and a 2. So we fail. One of our first failures. We lose all power and all soul. See? And we almost basically lost nothing from that. I'm losing my voice. I'm trying really hard to talk, but I've been recording all day, so I'm actually kind of losing my voice. Right? So we'll see if we could actually make it through all of this stuff. We'll see. There's still a whole half of a deck here. A whole half. I could come back actually later and finish. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. Next, we're still in phase 1. So maybe this actually could be played over a couple different days. If you have a place where you could set up your game board and just leave it, right? Then maybe this could be played over the course of a couple days. Burden, a reoccurring villain who always manages to escape. Why are they so determined? There's like a leader of the gluttony demon cult, and they've been like, we've seen them in the village, we've seen them in the church, and they still just keep getting away, you know? And I think Alfonso's like, I'm gonna get you, you know, something like that. So we need sword and key. We need to get a 6. 1 single 6, which is tough. We have +1 key. If we fail, we lose heart. We give this card to another player. They must attempt the challenge on their turn instead of drawing a new card. Well, there's no other players. That would be cool with 2 people though. Sounds fun. So we have 3 to roll. We just gotta get 1 single 6. We have no power, and I'm not gonna drink our potion yet. That's 2 1s. Oh no, that sucks, dude. So if we have 2 1s, any challenges that includes key and shield attribute, we lose an extra heart and we give this card to the player to the right. And because of our crown, we already lose an extra heart. So that puts us down to 1 heart and we lose both of these cards. We give them to the player to the right, but they don't have that. So that really kind of blows. So now we could drink our potions, but let's see what our next challenge is. The last card of phase 1, Barrage. Your nemesis harries your approach. How do you protect your allies? Harries? What is harry? What is harries? Harries your approach. What is that? We need 2 4s. We have shield and magic. Oh, we actually have magic. We have 2 magic, so we're doing okay there. We don't have any shield, so that means we get 2 magic. We get 4 dice. Very good. This is if we lose, you choose another player and they lose 1 heart. That's messed up. There isn't another player here to play. If we succeed, we get a power and 1 insight to the insight tracker. That would be the first time we get to put that on there. That's cool. Okay, so let's do this now. Let's take both of these. We're gonna drink both of these things. We're gonna get 2 heart from the Vim potion, and we're gonna get 2 power from the Vigor brew. So they're gonna bring us up to 3 heart, because we cannot fail a challenge that loses a heart because of our crown. All right, and we get 2 power, and we're gonna spend 1 power right now. So we're gonna have 1 power because I really want to succeed in this. So we had 4 dice, so we're actually gonna have 5 now. We just gotta get 2 4s. Let's see. That's 2 6. That's 3 6s, baby. Sick. So I'm talking about. Okay, so we get 1 power and 1 insight. So we get that power back. That's why it was worth it to spend it. And we get 1 insight. So we can come over here to our insight tracker that we have right here. We're gonna actually move it to 2. Sick. Okay, so now we're on to phase 2 now, everybody. Very exciting stuff. So phase 1, just for you guys, I don't know how much I'm gonna chop that up, but through my reading and thinking and stuff, phase 1 took me about 18, 19 minutes. Just so you know, if you wanna play this, you can. I think with more people, it'll probably take longer, you know. Anyway, all right, on to phase 2. We draw a card. These are probably way harder. Sigil Solo. Forbidden magic bars your path. How do you break this spell? We have shield, magic, and crown, so that's 3. We have 1 crown, 2 crown, 2 magic. So that's 7 dice we get to spend. Sheesh. Yeah, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 7. Oh, wait. This whole time, y'all. On my character sheet, I don't know why I just skimmed right over it. It says attributes, +1 shield and +1 crown. This whole time, I've had shield and crown. We've been doing just fine without it, though, haven't we? We've been doing just fine. Okay, so in the booklet, it said you at least have 1 of each thing, right? Let's double check. Yeah, so whenever you're building your pool of dice, I was right, they symbol a number of challenge dice equal to 1 plus the number of matching attribute symbols they have on their character card, starting equipment, loot, and any other. So it's 1 plus that. So it's not 1 for every symbol, right? It's just a flat 1 plus your attributes. So there was a couple of times I just gave myself like 1 for key. I was like, if you don't have the stat, you have 1 dice in it. That's what I was thinking it was, which I think is a fun way to play if you're playing solo. Just saying that. You could do that. It could be solo rules. You know what I'm saying? Just saying that. But it's just 1 dice. So if we're building our dice pool for this here challenge we're doing right now, let's go up here. Our challenge is Shield Magic Crown, right? So we'll have 1 dice to start. That's our dice pool. Plus we have Crown and Shield on our character sheet. So that gives us 2 more. And then we go to our items. We have 1 crown here for this one. We have 1 magic here for this one. And then we have 1 crown and 1 magic for this one. So the way I was doing my math before somehow still would have made me had 7 dice, but I wasn't looking at the attributes here, okay? But now it's solved, all right? It's all good and solved. I did a weird roundabout math thing in my head. The issue, my friends, is that I have played a lot of these games. And so I was just thinking that you'd have 1 dice in each stat to start plus extras. That's what I was thinking. That is not the case here. You just have 1 general dice, right? So there was a couple times where we actually had to get 2. It would have been impossible for us to do that. We would have had a lot more failures at the beginning. Like there was like I think shield. Let's go back to the other camera. This one, I was thinking would have been impossible, but technically we had shield, so we still would have had 2 dice. That would have made sense still. We have a crown, so that would have still made sense still. So maybe actually would have been okay. Well, I don't know. This one right here, well, we only needed to get 1 dice, so it would have just been really difficult to do. So maybe we would have still made it through, actually. I think we would have been fine. All right, just double checking. Now we have our dice pool, so let's go ahead and roll. 7, we need to get 4, 5, 4. Or we're gonna lose all of our power and all of our soul. But if we win, we get 1 soul and 1 heart. Cool. Which, I mean, 7 dice, easy. Okay, 4, 5, 4. I can see right here we already have 5, 6, 5. And wait, is it the exact number or more? I want to double check now. I'm double checking myself because to succeed at the challenge, a die roll must result in a unique dice, so just one of the dice, that matches or beats the target number. Gotcha. So yeah, we're doing it. So 5, 6, 5, we succeed. We get 1 soul and 1 heart. That's very good. No more loot, but whatever. And our 1 and done. Okay, sigil completed. Lair. I'm really happy I figured that out because I really wanted to demo this game for everybody in case you guys wanted to try it. So I'm happy that I caught my mistake. Schemer, solo card. It is Key Magic Crown. We need 4, 5, 4 again. The quiet words reach many. What plots have you fallen for before? On a success, we end them and undo their plans. On a defeat, we must substitute wits and force. We lose soul, 1 heart, and all of our power. Holy crap. And we lose 2 heart because that's the way it goes. But if we win, we get 1 soul, 3 power, and an insight. But this is key, magic, and crown. So we don't have any key, but we start with 1. We get our 1 crown from our attribute. And we get 1 crown from here, 1 magic from here, and then 1 magic and 1 crown from the bottom. So that gives us 6 dice. We need 4, 5, 4. We could spend a power. We get 3 power if we beat it. So yeah, let's go ahead and spend the power just in case. I doubt that we need it, but whatever. And let's roll our 6 dice. Here we go. We need 4, 5, 4. I already see, and I need to remember to keep checking for double 1s because if we get double 1s, oh no, we already lost that, doesn't matter. We got a lot of 6s actually, so we're doing just fine. Okay, so we succeed against the schemer. We chop his head off. You could get way more roleplay with this. I'm telling you. I'm losing my voice right now, but totally could get way more roleplay with it. So we get 1 soul, 3 power, and 1 insight, which is the best part. Okay, puts us up to 4, 4, 2, 4. I love the character sheet so much. I really do. I'm not even using the paper one. I think it's cool that they added it in there, but I'm not even using it. All right, next. A moment. Feud. An old argument resurfaces. What grievance is being aired? I'm gonna need to play this with people, because outcome. All players lose 1 power. Will gall darn. Tempers flare. Insults get personal. It ends quickly, but resentments are left to fester. So I'm yelling at my god. I'm like, what's going on? Help me defeat this god. And he strikes me down or something. I'm just out in the middle of the forest talking to myself. Alfonso all on his own out here. All right. I think that being said, this base set here, I think I kind of want to leave a little bit of mystery for you guys on these cards and stuff, because they look fantastic. This slay them card looks so difficult. To be able to slay the demon lord, goodness. Upon their throne they sit on layer 2, and then in the end, they fully emerge into the void. That's crazy. But on this slay them card, this is the last card, right? This one, look at this. 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, and all your stats. I feel like with like our last roll we got, we totally would be able to nail that, but crazy stuff. Were there any fun holographic cards in here? I didn't pull a single one for our deck this game, so all the fun holographic cards are put away. Dang. The loot ones were even way in the middle too. This one's fun. I want to read this to you guys. This is from the Kickstarter. Familiar, a creature of unusual intelligence and uncertain allegiance. Why does it take an interest in you? While you have this card, you get +1 sword, which we didn't get that whole time. I just flung the cards. We get +1 sword and +1 key. And when the Slay Them card is drawn, roll a d6. On a 4 to 6, we get 2 extra insight to the insight tracker. On a 1 to 3, lose the same amount of insight. Dang. And we have favor, a withered and venerated piece of a nemesis. What feature of the nemesis are you granted? So like we find a piece of him. While you have this card, you get extra magic. As long as you are not the only player left alive while you possess this card and would lose soul or power, another player with the fewest of that resource loses it instead. That's fun. We have Heirloom, another holographic card. A bond as ancient as blood. What connection does your family have to the nemesis? Oh, what? That's crazy. If you draw this card, you must keep it. While you have this card, you get an extra shield and an extra crown. Whenever you use this card and roll a pair of 1s, add 1 insight. Sick. While you hold this card, you may not gain additional dice from insight during the Slay Them challenge. Well then what? So we have to figure out a way to get rid of the card before we do the Slay Them, because you're getting all this extra insight. You gotta figure out how to get rid of it. That's crazy. I want to look at these other cool Kickstarter cards. We got Isolate. The nemesis tries to corner one of you. Collapse. Corridor. Dungeon. Errand. Tavern. Festival. Competition. Staying sharp by challenging the best. Who do you challenge? You could challenge a friend. That's fun. Monologue. This has a loot symbol on it, so you get some loot out of that one. That's fun. Man, I like this game a lot. I really do. For me, I don't know. If you really want to embrace the role-playing aspect of it, I think you can. Especially if you play with friends and you guys like want to keep fighting more and more nemesises over time. You could keep your same little character sheets and actually write down all the backstory stuff on the pieces of paper. I think that that's really fun. For a solo player, I think just getting in and doing a fun little roguelike card game is where it's at. That's kind of what I want out of this. I don't want all the complicated extra stuff. I think just getting in, rolling some dice, and killing a couple demons is really fun for me, and picking up loot and trying to put together a weird build, I think is fun. I'm really interested to see, because I also didn't use any of my abilities here because I played by myself. But what I will say is if you guys want to see me play, maybe with my partner here on a video, if you leave a like here on this video right here, we'll come back and do a full game together with 2 people, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so let me know what you think about this, and I hope you enjoyed this overview and showcase of One Last Fight. This was a lot of fun, and I was looking forward to this game for a long time, and it didn't disappoint. I mean, it's great. With some friends, it would be top tier. And I think even people who don't understand board games like this could play. Absolutely. I think it includes all the descriptors and instructions that you need to be able to do it. And I really like the art on all the cards. But I'm just a sucker for some really cool black and white and red art, so I may be a little bit biased in that. And I also love the theme. The idea that you're going after your final adventure, is very cool. I think some of these cards could use more descriptors. I think they're supposed to be real general, so they fit with each different nemesis. So I'm excited to see maybe some expansions they might come out with. Games like this need expansions to stay alive, so hopefully they continue to do that. That would be sick. And if you're watching this video way in the future and they have came out with an expansion and I haven't seen it yet, make sure to leave it in the comments below. Thank you. This right here is a token of glory right here. This 1 to 20 spinner, dude, that's a D20 spinner right there, baby. I'm gonna use that in my other games. Very cool. But other than that, my friends, thanks so much for watching. I've been Turk from the Grouch Couch. I really hope you enjoyed. And if you did, take a seat on the couch and roll initiative, at least until you try to fight and take down a nemesis of your own. Roll on that, weirdos. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo. Yeah.
Just like, share, and subscribe. Just like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
And I don't, okay, look, we're gonna put this in the end of the video. I'm trying to put the game away right now. And look, the cards fit perfect in that little foam we talked about earlier, right? And then all these fit perfect right here. But then you try to put these paper character sheets in there. Look, and it won't, and then you gotta bend them like that. That sucks. Just make these character sheets just a little itty bitty, less. It could have fit in there perfect, Man, maybe there's another way they want you to put this thing away. Probably like this. Ugh, but I hate. Anyways, that's that. And my dice are gonna go there. Fine.